So how is the coronavirus impacting Louisiana now? And the president of a prestigious national law enforcement organization is in the house. We got a lot to talk about. Roll it, Ed. Well, as most of you know, the governor has extended the mask mandate, and we are in this post-COVID reality. But how are we doing? How are the numbers? What's the latest with vaccines? Let's talk about it right now with Dr.Katie Taylor, who is the assistant professor of medicine at LSU. And this time we're in right now, we were talking before we started, Doc, about this COVID reality we're in and all having to deal with it. So how's Louisiana doing right now?
So, I mean, we are on that back end of this surge, and I think we're getting to a little bit of place of where we feel a little safer, but Delta is still raging out there throughout the nation, really, and it's still the community is spreading within our community.
You know, right now when I think about the last year that we have had, we have had to adjust to having to go everywhere with these masks, getting the vaccine, the conversation about social distancing and everything. But you're a medical doctor. You're seeing people who are not just dealing with COVID. You're seeing doctors, people who are dealing with other issues as well. Okay. Do you find that we're starting to finally get this reality we're in right now?
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, let's be honest. I feel like when I moved back here from Florida in August when everything was a mess, right? And so everybody was panicking. Everybody was texting me like, what do I need to do? How do I do this? I've been exposed to COVID.
Right.
And now we're going to LSU games and people are forgetting about all this.
Point of fact, I mean, the first LSU home game was the largest gathering we have had here since this pandemic started. And I was wondering, and I told a friend of mine earlier this week, we've had 3 home games.
Yes, I believe.
And it is interesting to see what the numbers do based upon this gathering. And I haven't seen an incredibly aggressive spike in numbers. Should that give us a little bit of confidence, or should we not get carried away with that?
So the rules that were set by LSU, you either have to have a vaccine or have a test that you're negative.
Right.
That's been proven in other large outdoor gatherings that actually does mitigate the transmission of COVID in a large group. So I feel like being compliant with that has kept us from having sort of a outbreak because of an LSU game.
Well, there have been people who've talked about other things that you can do to mitigate the risk of COVID outside of wearing a mask. What are some of the things that you advise people to do?
So it's being cautious. If somebody's sick, stay home. Don't go hang out with people if you're sick. Get a test if you're sick, because that way, you don't have to wonder like, oh, do I have it? Did I give it to my elderly grandmother who's been vaccinated, or am I giving it to my kids? Are my kids sick going to school, giving it to other people there and back to their families and that sort of thing?
One of the things that we have seen is the small percentage of people who have been vaccinated but still contracted the virus. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So it is possible, especially when there's a high rate of transmission, which happened with us in August and September. But if somebody does have the vaccine and gets coronavirus, the symptoms are much milder, and your risk of transmission to other people is less. Now, if you get in those elderly populations, those are the people that don't have a robust immune response to the vaccine, and that's why this booster has been recommended for those people, because those people are the really ones at risk for if they do get COVID after vaccination.
So what's the benefit of the booster?
So the booster, and this is something commonly we see with kids. We do it with MMR, so it's not something new. It's just every time your body sees an infectious agent, it remembers it better and it boosts your response. So with anything, after you see something over a course of time, depending how long, it could be years, could be months, your immune system just wanes down until it sees it again. And so that's kind of what happens with the cold every year. You know, you get it, and then your immunity wanes, and then you can get it again the next year.
Right. You know, we're gonna take a break in a minute, and when we come back, I'd like to talk about some of the myths that are out there about taking the vaccine.
Sure.
Dr. Katie O'Neill was here a few weeks ago, and we talked about people saying everything from how it will impact their ability to have children, will it exacerbate pre-existing medical conditions that they have, or people who flat out say it just doesn't work, which.
Right.
It's crazy for me because I couldn't wait to get mine. I'd take another one tomorrow if they give it to me. So we're going to come back and continue our conversation with Dr. Taylor. And later on in the show, Captain Frederick Thomas will be in studio with us. Remember that name. Remember that name. And next week on the show, Congressman Garrett Graves will be here to talk about what Louisiana is about to get from the federal government. Oh, man, these conversations are great. Glad you're here. Keep watching. There are a lot of myths out there about the vaccine, and those myths are keeping all the people who do their great research using Facebook and Twitter from getting the vaccine. So let's talk a little bit about that. I told you during the break that I was on a teletown hall, and we were answering questions, or the medical people on the call were answering questions about the virus and the vaccine. But one of the comments was from a lady who said she had a son in his late 20s, early 30s, who was special needs. And she was concerned about him getting the vaccine because of it possibly exacerbating issues that he already had. And that's a legitimate concern, I believe. Let's start there with people who legitimately are concerned about what it will do to them if they have pre-existing conditions or someone they care about has pre-existing conditions.
Absolutely. And I've actually had this question before posed to me. To me, if you have pre-existing conditions, that's a reason to get the vaccine. You're at higher risk.
Okay.
For if you had COVID,
right.
You know, depending on what the issues you have, especially if you have something pulmonary or something that makes your immune system weaker.
Okay.
So that's a reason to get the vaccine. Those people are at high risk for COVID. And the other thing is, you know, the vaccine, it enters your body and it exits pretty quickly. Your body takes care of that, and the rest that happens is your immune system.
Okay.
So all the downstream long-term effects is your immune system. The vaccine is gone.
Right. So the other thing is we've heard the conversations or the myths about infertility, how it could stop you from having children, and some of the other things. Truly, brass tacks it for me. What risks are there to getting it? Now I have it. I got the vaccine, and I'm going to get the booster at some point. But what risks are there? Do you know of any?
For infertility specifically?
In general.
In general? So there is, now, mind you, there's been 6.4 billion people who have gotten the vaccine.
Yeah.
So that is probably the largest medical study you could hope for.
Right.
And there's only a very, very small percentage of people that have had adverse events to those vaccines. Right. And one of those is clots, namely a clot in the brain.
Right.
But that risk is so small compared to your risk, especially in a community that is not highly vaccinated. Your risk of COVID and risk of having serious consequences from COVID is way higher than that risk from vaccine. And that's when people ask me personally, you know, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that risk. And I said, well, look, when I talk to my patients, I say, here's the risk of option A and here's the risk of option B. Your risk of getting COVID and having something bad happen to you far outweighs the risk of any risk that comes with the vaccine. You
know, the FDA is getting a request from Pfizer now. They want them to approve the vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. And I think that's an interesting ask on their part right now. Kind of tell me what that means, and if they are approved, what happens?
So if they're approved, just like in the younger age group that we had before, the teenagers, you'll be able to go and get your child vaccinated. I think it's a great idea because we want our kids to go to school. We want them to be safe.
Yeah.
I know they're wearing masks, but you know, masks aren't quite as good as having the vaccine and wearing masks.
Right.
So I think it's really important, especially we never know once we get new variants, and I'm hoping we don't have another variant like Delta or something worse, but there could be a variant that comes up that more affects kids like Delta did, even more so than Delta. And so to do it now in preparation for anything that can happen going forward is really a good idea.
Well, you know, in addition, you're the medical director of infection prevention at Our Lady of the Lake.
Correct.
And George Bell was here. He's going to be here next week again. He made a comment about the number of people in hospitals who don't have COVID. And so if you don't, you forget that there are people who still go to the emergency room for other issues. You know, the stress on that hospital and hospitals in general, has it gotten any better, or is it still as bad as it was last year?
It's still pretty bad, especially since Delta. We're still, even though, you know, our numbers are down, we're still dealing with people who are having, you know, chronic issues now that they've had COVID. They're stuck on a breathing machine with a tube in their neck, and they're having other issues that we have to deal with in the hospital. We still have COVID units in the hospital. We still have staff from the military and staff the states provided. So we're still stretched thin, and you know, trying to teach all these new people what to do, how to prevent other bad things from happening to the patients. It's an uphill battle for sure.
It's amazing, this, I mentioned again, the stress on hospitals, and we got about a minute here. What about y'all, the medical staff, doctors and nurses? It's had to have been a crazy year and a half.
Yeah, definitely, and the nurses really take the brunt of it, but it's sort of just, it's frustrating, you know, like we really want everyone to take care of themselves so we can take care of them too.
Right.
And so, you know, when people are so adamantly against taking the vaccine, I just be open to having the conversation, because that's how we can get ourselves out of this and get the stress off of our workers and get back to normal so we can really take care of everybody the way they're supposed to be taken care of.
Doc, I appreciate it. You got to come back and see us again. Give us an update again, right?
Absolutely.
Our first time doing a television interview like this. All right, up next, let's talk to the national president of a fantastic organization that you want to know about. The Clay Young Show returns in just a moment right here on WBRZ+. The National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives has a new national president, and he is Captain Frederick Thomas with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office. And we all call you Link. Yeah. President Thomas officially now. But this is really great. So you were recently the Baton Rouge chapter president and now the national chapter. Noble was founded in 1976, and it has been not only a law enforcement organization, but a community-facing law enforcement organization. Tell me about Noble.
Noble, okay, it was actually founded in 1976 by 55 black law enforcement officers throughout the nation.
Yeah.
They convened in Washington, D.C. to come up with some of the problems that we're facing now, the crime,
yeah,
the poverty,
right,
and the gang stuff that's happening in the communities around the nation. So through that, they came up with a plan to start this great organization. Now we're just building it up even better now.
You know, you had a reception last week, I think it was, and you talked about your vision for Noble going forward as a national president. I don't think people realize that as national president, you get calls from the White House. The organization wants you to lean in when there's an issue happening around the country. That's a pretty big deal. What's your vision for Noble as president?
Right now, I'm saying we focusing play now on gun control violence.
Okay.
I'm saying it's just getting too
It's
bad
out,
now.
yeah.
Kids, we getting kids as low as 11 years old with firearms now.
Yeah.
And my vision is gun control. We actually gonna be out in the community being the face for Noble.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of things we need to do.
Well, listen, you're not a stranger to being in the community and being on the streets, but you know, these young men, man, there's so much anger in them, and I mean, they pull a gun at a moment's notice over something as simple as somebody stepping on their shoes. How do we pull them back a little bit?
Clay, it starts at home first. I tell people that all the time. It starts at home. Well, we got to give them the tools they actually need, because I tell people all the time, the focus is poverty in the community.
Yeah.
It's a lot of programs, great programs. So we got to enrich these kids that want to actually succeed and be successful. We do it all the time. We got a great community thing called a Law in Your Community that Nobles provide throughout the nation. We go and talk to kids, 13 to 18 years old, about the risks of just being involved in the streets. You know, we got to actually stop them, tell them what they need to do, have the parents involved. We got to reach the parents also. We just can't do it for the kids. Everybody got to be involved with it. Law enforcement, the community, the clergy. I tell people all the time, the police just one part of the community.
Right.
It takes a whole community coming. The
village,
mailman, everybody got to be involved. Right. You know, I tell people that all the time. It's a community thing.
Well, and as national president, you have to be concerned and involved in issues that are happening in cities that are not just Baton Rouge.
Yes.
Something happens in Los Angeles or Atlanta or Miami or wherever. You know, how do you balance those responsibilities with still being a sheriff's deputy here in EBR? Man,
it's just wonderful that I have a great sheriff that allows me to do these different things because he's a good guy. I'm saying I wouldn't be in the position I am now. I just got off the phone with the Department of Homeland Security Secretary on a meeting yesterday, dealing with the thing in Del Rio, Texas, about the horses and the Haitian immigrants. So, hey, Noble's at the table on every call, any law enforcement crisis that goes through the nation. Noble's the first person to contact because we had that seat at the table. We've got a real diverse team, my staff. I had the commissioner of the Philadelphia Police Department. I had the Atlanta Police Department chief. I have a retired deputy chief for Detroit. So we get together, we have our little meetings once a week, and we discuss these things. So we put people throughout the nation to help us spread our mission, what we're trying to do here in Noble.
So that's a prime example, what you mentioned that's happening in Texas, and some of the photos that we saw of Haitian immigrants trying to get into the country and men on horseback beating them with whips, which is unconscionable to think about that in 2021 you would have that going on. So then what would Noble's role be in discussing something like that or trying to deal with it?
First, we talked to the secretary about training. We got to train guys how to be law enforcement. And I tell people all the time, it starts with your leadership. The supervisor got held the guys accountable. It's accountability. If the supervisor's not involved in the officer's day-to-day life, that's how you get the optics, the stuff you saw in Del Rio, Texas. Because things like that don't have to happen.
No.
You got to be a voice, you got to be a communicator, and people got to know what your mission and vision is. So that's what we try to do. So we have our training. Matter of fact, we got a training program tonight. Zoom really helped us out a lot with the pandemic because we actually have training throughout the year now. So one time we meet once a year or twice a year. Now we can meet quarterly now with different training and classes, and we invite these people to our Zoom conferences. So it's working pretty good right now.
So, you know, you mentioned training because there is all this attention now on law enforcement officers.
Yes, sir.
And the criticism has been intense. And I got a little less than a minute. We'll start here and then we'll come back after the break.
Okay.
What do you say is the state of law enforcement in America right now?
Well, the optics are really bad right now, Clayton. It really is, Clayton. So what we really need to do now is give it these leaders, bring all these leaders to the table. Right here in East Baton Rouge Parish, we have 9 different law enforcement agencies here in East Baton Rouge Parish.
That's right.
So all of us need to get to the table.
Yeah.
Our training needs to reflect each agency that's here, part of Baton Rouge.
Right.
We got to bring the trust back in the community. Community got to trust us.
Stay right there. We'll come back
Okay.
and continue with President Thomas about his vision for Noble. And is law enforcement a profession that young people are still interested in? We'll talk about that and more in just a moment. You're watching The Clay Young Show on WBRZ+. You know, there's an interesting thing that is happening in the country as it relates to law enforcement. The myth is that young people are no longer interested in being police officers. However, I personally have experienced conversations with young people who still want to be cops. So which is real? What are you finding? Do you think you're losing the appeal with young professionals to come into law enforcement?
Not at all. I feel that each law enforcement officer that patrols these communities throughout the nation, we are the ambassadors.
Yeah.
We need to be an advertisement for law enforcement. So with Noble, we do our mentoring program. We got collegiate chapter throughout the nation now.
Yep.
We at the HBCU campus is also doing a big promotion.
Yep.
So we actually got to be the ambassador. We got to sell law enforcement to the community.
How do you do that?
I'm just saying it's easy.
Okay.
You invite them on to different events throughout the year. Like Noble just did a big convoy care, came all the way from Atlanta chapter,
Yeah.
provide goods and services to the people affected by Hurricane Ida.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that's the type of thing. Clay, it's not a lot. It's just little things you need to do to make people interested in law enforcement. I know that sometimes the optics get real bad some days, but we got to be that voice and that advocate saying, like, hey, law enforcement is a great profession. We need y'all, and we just got to be the ambassador. We got to sell it.
The vast majority of law enforcement officers are some of the best people you could meet. And I always say this, the majority of police officers want to do their job the right way, just like the majority of people who live in inner city communities are not interested in breaking the law.
Yes.
Both sides of that equation deserve that benefit of the doubt and that perspective. How do we build that bridge, Captain Thomas?
We got to build that trust, Clay. I'm just saying, you just got to wake up. You got to have the best trained officers. And like I said on my slogan, I ran for the position.
Yeah.
A great leader got to be a great servant.
Okay.
So you got to get out there in the community, bridge that gap by, just talking to them. People want to know what's going on.
Right.
Like I said earlier in my, when we started the show, the poverty. We got to give people hope.
Yep.
That thing can work.
Yeah.
We got to give them that hope. We got to sell it. The school education is a big part of this also.
Yep.
So we got to build programs that bring education back to the parents who might not have their education.
Right, right.
So law enforcement getting involved with that, with the clergy, the news media, talk shows like yourself.
Yeah.
These are the type of things we need to do to bridge that gap because people need to know these things.
When your term as president is over, what do you hope to have accomplished?
When my term is over, I hope to come to that I establish more chapters throughout the nation.
Okay.
Right now, we only have like 50 plus chapters throughout the nationwide. So I want to build membership. I want to build the training up. I want to mentor the guys that's coming behind me. We got to have these programs, so we got to develop leaders.
When at your reception, because I was there, one of the things that I heard consistently from people is how much you care about community. Everybody says the same thing, in the community, be in the community, be in the community. That's how we start this.
Yes, sir.
Being boots on the ground in a different way, right?
Yes, sir.
And then if you do it, the outcome is going to be better. So finally here, what do you see your biggest challenge being? What's your biggest challenge?
The trust.
Okay.
We got to build trust. People right now don't trust law enforcement.
Yeah.
Every day something on the news about law enforcement. We got to build that trust and bring it back.
How?
And just like you said earlier by myself, I'm in the community.
Yeah.
I attend all the different local football games. You got to go to them things you really want to go to.
Yeah.
People got to see you doing your job, interacting with the community, and let people know, hey, man, we care about you. We listening to what you're saying. You got to be that person. You got to be involved. The boots on the ground thing is basically serving where you live. You got to serve your community.
Well, listen, I appreciate the effort and everything you're doing.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you back on. Next week, we're going to talk with George Bell, and Congressman Garrett Graves will be here. Have a great weekend.